Hey everybody, Wandering Kid here. Welcome back to my SubNautica playthrough. We recently created a bunch of gear, and what we're going to do now is set up ourselves a little base to get things started up. I want to get a little deeper. I want to get a little bit of range off, and I don't want to be sitting right on top of our life pod. So we're going to head over this way. Now, if I could, I'd hope to see some thermals around here, and I never really ran into thermals for no good reason. So there's our life pod. Over here is life pod 3. That's to our north by northeast. And down that way is life pod 17. That's been stranded. And if we head up to the surface, the Aurora is out that way to our southeast by east. And we're going to go poke around and see if I can't locate where the life pod, I'm sorry, not the life pod, but where the thermal vents around here are, if there's any that's easy to snag. So let's see what we can see. Look at that. I found some thermal vents. So down here we've got some thermal vents. And as you can see down there, there's some nice fire and smoke and steam and all that happiness. Now, I don't have any equipment that'll actually let me know what temperatures we're at right now, but that's a useful thing to know. Over there we've got some kelp. Over there we've got some general area to go hang out at. We're about 230 meters off the life pod. That's fine. The life pod's south of us. So if we take a look from where we are, get some air. Over this way is the ship. Over that way is our life pod. And if we flip it around due northeast, so right about here, we're basically heading north by northeast. Now there are two thermal vents, but this one should work out all right. What we'll want to do now is find a decent place to start building out that doesn't get chewed on by these guys too often, the stalkers, because otherwise we'll be horribly annoyed. So let's see what we got on this side. We also we want some depth. We do want to be able to build the base at a decent amount of, just some depth, not too crazy, but deep enough. Now that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Got this nice big cliff right here, heading out that way. We've got some, I think I saw a boat, yep. Some brain coral, get some O2. Got a couple of these fat guys being annoying. Looks like we got some cave systems down there that we can go play in. This should be nice. I like it. Let's go to work. So, first things first. We are here. That's that. Over there is our thermal system that we'll want somewhere down the line. And let's grab the habitat builder. So let's go to air for a second so we can oxygenize while I chat. Come on. Oh, really? Thank you. So once you open up your habitat builder, you've got some general bits and pieces down in here. There's a multi-purpose room, ingredients unknown. We don't have that one yet. That's annoying. We have to do some research to get that. It's going to be deep and it's going to be long. This is the multi-purpose room. It's difficult to find early. But we have some foundation. What that does is it reinforces the habitat, and we'll discuss that here in a minute as to what that ends up doing. We've got some general compartments. These are all titanium pieces. Off of here, we can do some glass pieces, off of, well, glass. The vertical connector, it lets you do multi-levels of room. And the hatch lets you in and out. The window lets you be able to see outside of a normal compartment without actually having to do the glass compartment. And the reinforcement, which uses lithium, which we haven't seen yet, lets us build a larger base. So these are your base components. Over here, your exterior modules, some solar panels, and that air pump that's kind of pointless. Inside, well, the only thing we found is a ladder so far. Interior modules is the internal base components. So we'll be able to build a fabricator, a radio, and a med kit really easy hanging off of our base. Down here we've got a small and a large locker that we can use, and this aquarium. One thing to notice, this aquarium, you need the multi-purpose room to get this thing to fit under most circumstances. I've never been able to get that thing to fit right. Over here in miscellaneous, so if we make the base look cool, we can give it some signs and letters and things like that all over. The trash can is useful to throw away trash that we don't need. You typically won't do that until you start farming of some form. The vending machine is, well, it's just a vending machine. And a countertop, so we can sit things on top of it. It's really just a look cool item. So we're going to start with base components. And we're going to start with the next component. So let's go downstairs. So if we're going to build this, let's see, where do I want to go from? Okay, there's my thermal out that way. And I want to build a way, well, I want to basically dive down this way. So I want some components in the back of the base. Let's see. Stuff in the back for storage and supplies and things like that. I want the front to look cool. So we're gonna build it up a little bit. There we go. Like so. There we go. So, our first base piece. Woohoo, aren't we cool? So from there, what I'm doing is I'm planning on building out the really cool looking area out over here. And this is going to be our structural and component pieces back this way, such as when I bring over thermal and stuff like that. So the next piece I want is a T compartment. We're going to turn that way and drop that in. There we go. And the next piece I'm going to want is a hatch. And you can stick a hatch on top of things like so. You don't have to build off the outside. And the next piece we need is some solar panels. So the solar panels, 2 quartz, 2 titaniums, and a single copper. And we're just going to stack these in somewhere here. Let's see, how do I want this to look?
30 seconds.
Let's see, okay, let's go get some O2. So I do bases pretty deep, a lot. Okay, let's start that again in English, did I? I tend to make a lot of bases. And I will not have you guys be stuck sitting here staring at me the entire freaking time I start making them. I just wanted to show you guys the beginnings of a base while I'm sitting here attaching some parts and things like that. So once we've got one of them, and I'm going to put in 2 solar panels.
All primary systems online.
One is enough to just make sure that things don't go stupid. I am not having enough parts. So what happens is if you run out of materials, obviously I don't have enough to make it happen. So it needs more quartz. I need more quartz to get that thing to work. But if we hop inside,
welcome aboard, Captain.
We are now oxygenized. Woohoo, go me. Okay, over here. Now I'd need more quartz if I want to build out the larger locker. But the small wall lockers, I can build a couple of. And we've got a little room in here, so I'm just going to strap a couple of these guys in. Just so we have some storage. Like so. Okay, yeah, we'll go with 2 for the moment. And we will stick in, well, we'll make this a titanium locker. And this will be a everything else locker for now. Thank you, titanium. And we'll call it, oops. Ah, come on, wrong button. and call you stuff. Okay, and we will come back for some more stuff here in a little bit. So I'm going to head back. Oh, I'm going to see if I can't knock out a little... well, we're going to go grab all of our stuff from the...
Seek fluid intake.
Oh, I've got water. Slurp.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Anyway, I'm going to go head over to our life pod, see if I can't steer the rest of the gear... Pull the rest of the gear out and start building up. So, bring right back. So, as I was doing this, I forgot one minor thing that I'm pretty much missing right now. And that's the fact that I don't have beacons to find my base still. Oh dear. So, I've got to try and find this base by hand. This should be interesting. In the dark. Wonderful. Okay. I think I've got a fighting chance. This is one of the thermal vents. So if that's a thermal vent, just over here, I might be able to find... There's my base. So that took a little bit of digging around. I had to go run across the east side of the safe shallows to get over here to go find this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a little bit of information to be able to make sure I can find this again until I get beacons. So over there is the life pod. And to my south by southwest will be my 170 meter indicator of which direction I gotta go. And just in case things go south on this, if we come over here, we've got life pod 3 is about 250 meters away. And here is my thermal. And my thermal is about 225 meters away. Almost due south of the life pod. So I get 2 indicators to be able to work from. That should be enough to get me from point A to point B. So let's get back into our new little base. Doesn't do much yet, but we'll get back to this plan. We'll drop off some stuff. Look, stuff. We'll dump off all of this. Okay, and I got my tools. I don't need a fire extinguisher. The bladderfish will hang out too. I don't need the air bladder. I do need water, and I do need food. So I'm going to be doing a food and water run here shortly. There's some salt nearby. I'll go take care of the water here via that. But let's start over here. Next thing I want in here is going to be my fabricator. So I need some table coral samples. Okay, the medical kit fabricator actually eats a lot of stuff. Silver, some mesh, a computer chip, that's a lot of stuff. Over here we can get the radio going with just some titanium and copper, that's good to know. And I need to pick up some more quartz, because right now I'm only at 75 power and I want to boost that up. So what are we doing at first? Well, really, the first thing we really need to do is get the fabricator up and running. So I need a little bit of table coral real fast. Over here, we'll just pick up a couple of pieces. And we'll pick up a few more because I'm right here. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm gonna go find some quartz, but we'll do that in a second. Truck up in here.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Thank you. And over here, we need to get gold and titanium. So grab some gold. And over here, we've got our titanium. And we will build our fabricator.
Seek fluid.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, so while we're in here, we will do our substance. And we'll grab our poor fishy. So down a little water.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay, next one. The radio. That's quick and easy. Grab a piece of titanium. Grab a piece of copper. Simple enough. Over here, we'll stick this. Come on. Oh, you're not going to fit? You're just going to be pesky? Fine. Really? Wow, you are testy. Okay, you know what? We'll stick this over here. Like so. There's my radio. And the other piece I'm going to want is the medical kit fabricator at some point, but not in the immediate future. I do want to go finish off my solar panels, so I need to go grab some quartz. And we're going to go grab... Oh, wrong one. And we're going to go grab some grub. So let's go take care of this part. And while I'm at it, let's see. Is there a tube? Yep, there's a tube right here. I'm going to grab some extra water with it. And that'll help with that. And we need to slap a grab ball on here. Let's see. We got any nearby fishy? Yeah, we got plenty. Off they go. And we'll just grab ourselves some peepers. Oh. Gary fish. Come back. Thank you. Come on. Just need some food. I'm trying not to die to the poison. Thank you, little buddy. Well, I never scanned the table coral. We'll get that done. Oh god, I just died. So, when you die, you are brought back to whatever base is nearby, and anything you had gets reset. So everything I dropped is basically still dropped, and it's gone. That's okay, I can live with this. I did get my... Oh, nope, I gotta go get my grab ball back. It's out here somewhere. It's not too far. There it is. But you'll notice one other thing of interest. And that is, I am at 100% water and 50% food again, because I died. So even though I went through all of that to save myself some life-giving water, it reset as soon as I died and rebooted. So, well, I guess there's worse things that could happen. Scan this mushroom. Love to see another scanner piece. I think I ran through this particular wreck about 500 times already, so we're just going to leave this alone. Oh, I can scan a gasopod. Come on. Pop it up. There we go. At least now he's scanned. So, back to the base. There should be quartz and stuff like that down in those caves down there, so they should be easy enough to go scan. We'll hop in. Air. And grab some grub. Oops, come here. Try this again. And now I have Gary fish, but, well, I lost my Gary fish. But I've got some peepers. So, lunch! And I'm going to keep one peeper left over. So boomerangs are 21 food, 3 water. Peepers are 32 food and 5 water. So there's that. So we've got our bits and pieces. Still don't believe I managed to die to the pods. That's pretty sad. But we will stick in the grav track. And over here we will grab some salt. We will grab some bleach. And just keep a couple of bottles of water on us to make life easier. And this way we're not worried about running out of water. Alright, so here's our little base. It's not very large, it's not very important. To understand what happens, so there's a limited amount of building you can do on any particular base. So what ends up happening is while you're building a base, well, I don't have any, I forgot to bring some titanium. Hang on. Come over here. Yep, 2 will be fine. So, I have an eye component. And if I start building it, come on. Why won't that build? Oh, because it's... Okay, so I have a problem already. It's, this tunnel is in the way of actually us building out. But I'll come back to this on another time. I don't know why this is having a problem. is your malfunction? Huh. Why won't you build that? Okay, I'm going to go play with that base on my own. But, so what happens is we start building it, and as soon as it completes in the upper left, I'm down to -1 base hull, total 6. Now I can deconstruct it again, which puts me back at 7. I'm going to take these apart for a second. I want to see something. I'm going to take this down. Thank you. Which just took the base out.
Emergency power only.
I don't understand why this won't build. How very weird. I can go down, but not on it? Oh, it's because oh, I gotta take the internals apart. So what happens is when you build a base...
Emergency power only. Oxygen production
if you
offline.
hit the edges of the base itself, it won't build properly. Alright, now I need to quickly reattach some solar panels that will just work. So be careful when you start building the inside of your bases. It gets testy. There we go. And there we go. That will get some power and some O2. So if I come over here, nope, no good for you. But I can rebuild over here. Let me get into some air. Give me a second. So the inside walls, it does not play nicely. This locker in particular is apparently not behaving well. So I'm going to take it apart. Oh, right. I have to take everything out first. Then I can deconstruct the locker. 2. There we go. If I come back outside and grab my eye compartment, now it can build. Right? And I can rebuild on this side as well over here. Because the edges of the internal walls are no longer causing me problems. So I'm going to spend some time building out the inside of this base a little bit, and I will bring you guys back. So for now, as always, thanks for watching. I will see you next time, and please leave a like or comment if you enjoyed it.